What time is it? It's Packard Folks at time. Hat? Check. Shirt? Check. Pants? Optional. Mug? Double check. Check us out at cafepress.com/PackardPokesat where you can get all this great merchandise and more.
Do you like Packard Pokesat and want to hear it on demand and on the go? Download the free app today at Stitcher.com. Available on iOS, Android, Nook, and iPad.
This is Packard Pokesat, and I'm poking at your news. Good evening, everybody. This is Packard Sonic. Before we get started tonight, I have some distressing news. The place where I live at is being shut down, and because of that, I am being forced to move in the dead of winter here to someplace else. I just got the notification the day after we had our staff meeting, and we had been floating the idea of moving to a new time, and we had made a spot for it and everything, and it came out really nice, and we had set it up like a couple weeks prior, and I didn't realize how prophetic I was going to be when I said we're going to be moving. I would actually end up having to actually move. The fact is that I'm being forced to move is going to be very costly, and it's going to be very time consuming. And until this situation is resolved, this is going to be the last show for several weeks. Hopefully it'll only be 2 weeks, but I have literally less than 6 weeks to get my house in order, find a new place, and move. And that's going to be very costly. If you can help, any donation amount would be very helpful. If you could go to paypal.me/PackardPokesat and donate even $1 or more if you can, that would really help offset the cost of moving, which right now don't even have, because of the fact is moving is very expensive, and it's going to take what little resources I have, and you have to put down your first month's rent and your last month's rent and all that stuff. That's just money I just didn't expect I needed to have at this point. And if you're thinking, well, somebody else can help out, they'll donate $1, then generally somebody else is not going to, because they're going to be thinking the same thing. So please, if you can spare $1 or $2 or more, please go to paypal.me/PackardPokesat and donate a few dollars. It would really help me out. I am in no financial condition to move, but I'm being forced to move, and I have no means to do so right now. And until the situation again is resolved, this will be the last show for a while. Hopefully it'll be only for a couple weeks. At the offset, it may be a month, but I do plan on returning as soon as the situation is resolved. I know it's a gloomy way to start the show, but it's a necessary thing that I had to bring out, so you don't wonder what happened to me if I fell off the face of the planet, I just don't want to end up living in my car, especially in the dead of winter. Joining me tonight from the far East Coast is the Atheist Ranger.
Hey guys, how's it going?
And joining me from the ill that is Illinois is Matt, Not a Believer 71.
Hey everybody.
There's a lot of people that seem to think that they are just perfect for Senate. And Joe Opile, I'm not sure how to pronounce his last name, he's the ex-Arizona sheriff that recently given a pardon by Trump because Trump thought he was being persecuted because of all the nonsense and things that he did. He's just weird. And he thinks he's going to make America great again. Now, he ran for office to be sheriff out there again, and he was beaten out there. And I don't understand why he thinks that if he can't get office of sheriff, why would anybody want to put him in the Senate? He's also been known for putting up these prison camps outdoors where he would make the prisoners wear the traditional, like the type you'd see in the movies, black and white stripes, or put them all in pink, and we deny them certain things like salt and pepper and things like that. I mean, I know that sounds really petty, but I mean, salt intake is important for a lot of reasons. If you just don't have it, you can die. And the fact is that he violated a court order. Hey, you're not supposed to be stopping people just because you think they're illegal. And that was back in 2011. And the judge explicitly told him, don't be pulling over Latino drivers just because you think that they're not from this country. And he kept on ordering his deputies to do it anyway. And the fact is that he kept doing it himself and his deputies just shows you the level of mentality of how he thinks that being a bigot is the way to go. Atheist Ranger, your thoughts?
Oh man, so many thoughts. No, I think you nailed it on the head perfectly. I'm sorry, but if your state doesn't want you as sheriff, what makes you think they're going to want you in the Senate? And I'm sorry, but just because you got a pardon from the president, just because you've been literally all over Fox News kissing his butt. Yeah, that's not going to get you any points, which, by the way, doesn't mean that the president's not doing a bad job as president. That's not going to get you any points. I mean, I know Arizona's, I think Arizona is a mostly conservative state, but yeah, most conservatives don't even like Trump at this point.
Right. Stan Burns, a Republican political strategist in Arizona, said in a telephone interview saying, and in all intents and purposes, he's going to be wearing a Donald Trump mask and running as if he is Donald Trump. And with that added together, he cannot be dismissed as a candidate. Actually, he can. You know, the thing is, because you have such recognition and because your recognition is for being a bigot, you think that because it's a little bit fashionable now to say, hey, I don't like this person because of their color or their sexuality, you think that, oh, that's perfectly okay. No, then you've completely misread the situation. Yeah, right now that's a thing, but you know what? That's not going to be a thing for very much longer. You're coming out of the shadows, and then we're going to put you back in the shadows where you belong.
Yeah, just one more thing. If I have my terminology on right, I'm pretty sure that's why California became a sanctuary state. I mean, for those of you who may be a little confused about what a sanctuary state is, it's pretty much California telling its law enforcement you can't even, hold someone just because you think they're illegal.
Right. That's just wrong. Matt, your thoughts?
Another butt monkey in the Senate.
Yeah.
This guy's a real piece of work. I followed him a few years back when they did a documentary on jails, and his jail was on this show, and they showed the camps outside, these prisoners in 100+ degree heat.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was just disgusting. And most of them were minorities that were out there. And so it just goes to show you what kind of a person this individual is. He could care less about who you are, what you are. He's just going to treat people like that. And this guy violated an order from a judge, and he got a pardon from the president. So go figure.
Yeah.
It's a three-ring circus.
Yeah. The thing is here, and once he starts running for Senate, if Donald Trump endorses him, I think that's going to backfire enormously, because every person that Trump has endorsed for something has backfired on them and they lost their bid. As a matter of fact, Arpaio here, he went on the Alex Jones show. I haven't had a chance to watch the clip, but I just happened to catch the fact that he was on it, trying to get Alex Jones and his followers to vote for him. If you're going to Alex Jones, that kind of ilk to back you, then I feel really sorry for your base.
I don't think Alex Jones would endorse somebody like that.
Oh, believe me, I haven't watched it, but he kind of thinks along the same lines as Jones, or Jones thinks along the same lines as Arpaio. So yeah, he wouldn't have him on there if he wasn't in line with his screwed up values.
Oh, and just for the females in the audience, if I remember correctly, Joe Arpaio in his prisons, he actually made a woman give birth chained up, like, in shackles. And that,
Yes.
I think that woman went on to die because of blood loss.
Yeah, matter of fact, that is correct. She was forced to give birth while she was in jail. I'm not sure about the fact that if she died or not, but yeah, that was a thing though.
That's just sick.
Yeah,
sick mentality.
Not to get too far off the topic, but that happened in a Wisconsin jail in Milwaukee. That a woman, she was forced to give birth while she was in prison. Now I think that woman did die though.
Well, if somebody is giving birth and they know that she's pregnant, when the time comes, you take her to the hospital. I mean, there's procedures to do that.
Yeah. Either the woman died or the baby died. I don't remember which, but it was one of the two.
Still sad either way.
Yes, it is.
Caliber you are. Sold you have been. Garbage it is. Garbage!
Like most presidents that we've had in this country, they have some kind of spiritual advisor. I don't know what the hell that job does, but she wants you to send her up to 1 month's pay or face the consequences. Like a good religious terrorist would do. They say, believe or burn or do as I say, or God is going to get you. Paula White, a prosperity gospel preacher with close ties to President Donald Trump, is calling for her followers to send her donations up to 1 month's salary. And those who don't pay up would face the consequences from God, as he demands the dough as the first fruits. This woman is a piece of work. So while you're starving or trying to make your rent or bill payments or whatever, she wants you to say, oh, you know what? That's not important. My life's not important as long as I give the money to her. You know, this woman is really a piece of garbage. And this is what's from her website. This is her excuse of why she does this. She says, the reason is God lays claim to all firsts. So when you keep for yourself something that belongs to God, you are desecrating what is to be consecrated to God. In this case, the firsts are money, which is supernaturally unlocks amazing opportunity, blessing, favor, and divine order for your life. So if you give all your money to her, then God is going to bless you. Really? And then she claims she contributes a month's pay every year as a seed, which is according to the prosperity gospel is supposedly to grow into riches and other blessings. She's also calling on others to contribute their firsts in the form of wages for the day, week, or entire month. And then she tops it off with saying, when you honor this principle, it provides the foundation and structure for God's blessing and promises in your life. It unlocks deep dimensions of spiritual truths. I have no idea what that even means. That literally transforms your life. When you apply this, everything comes in divine ailment for his plan and promises for you. When you don't honor it, whether it through ignorance or direct disobedience, there are consequences. So if you don't give her all your money, God is going to get you. Let that sink in. You think that religion isn't based on money and greed? This woman just showed it to you. And if you give her even a penny, then I have no hopes for you for being a rational human being anymore. Atheist Ranger, your thoughts?
Oh, I have quite a bit to say about this. I mean, a lot of televangelists were doing this, but she was, a while back, she was making commercials on TV, like late at night, obviously, because who would watch that woman during the day? But I digress. But she was trying to sell holy water, and I quote, to help people get rid of their debts.
Yeah.
Like financial debts, which that should be illegal. Like doing that kind of commercial should be illegal. But I mean, first of all, she's in the, as I like to call it, the business of religion, which, you know, makes what, like $70 million a year because they don't get taxed.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? We live in a country where, I kid you not, half of America is literally poor. Half of the country is making less than $30,000 a year. And yet this woman has the nerve to sit there and say, oh, send your first month's tabs to me. No, most people can't afford that. Most people are working, you know, 2 or 3 jobs just to get by.
Yeah.
You know what? Even if I was religious, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah. One of the comments from the page here, it says, the check is in the mail. No address, no postage. God knows where it is going.
Nice.
Another comment here says, in this case, the first are money, which supernaturally unlocks the opportunity, blessing, favors, divine God, blah, blah, blah. So she believes that God, who created the heavens and the earth in 6 days, needs cash. I'm all for tithing what you can afford to your local congregation, but never to millionaire con artists using the Bible as their scheme to get rich. Well, you're already doing that. If you give money to the church, you're already giving your money to millionaires. They're just not on the Forbes 500. That's all. Because those churches don't write down what they get in, so they don't have to pay taxes. You're already giving money to some people who are already millionaires, and you don't even realize it. Matt, your thoughts?
So, since we do a show, can we demand that everybody who watches or listens to our show give us their first month's pay?
Absolutely. That's exactly how it works. Okay, if you're watching this show, because the Magic Spaghetti Monster says that you have to give 1 month's pay for your first fruits, you know, so donate all your first fruit, your whole month's pay to me. You go to paypal.me/PackardPokesat and you donate all your first month's pay right to me. I wouldn't ask anybody that.
No, I know. I'm just saying that, you know, hey, if they can do it, why can't we?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
No, but if we did that, we'd be defrauding people.
Well, no, you know what? We wouldn't be, because we actually give them something.
Well, that's true.
We give them a show. They just, well, God says you need to give us money.
Yeah.
You need to give me money. God said so. That's why. What do you get in return? Oh,
we'll send you a nice pin.
Yeah. Or what they'll do is they make promises. Well, if you give this money, then God will bless you in mysterious ways. You won't even know it. And you'll just get a blessing out of nowhere. It's a scam. And people don't realize it's a scam.
Sounds promising.
Yeah.
Well, you know, if she's talking about fruits and whatnot, why don't I just give her a nice fruit basket that's rancid?
She is rancid. She doesn't need any.
Here's your fruits, lady.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
Yeah. Well, she is already rancid as it is. So.
No, I know. I'm just saying, but yeah, this is just ridiculous. I mean, and they get away with this stuff.
Yeah.
That's the thing. They get away with it.
Yeah.
Send us your $50 a month or $100 a month or pledge this or pledge that, and God will do it. No.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Because people are gullible and they believe in God. You do it for God, but give it to me, because what is God going to spend the money on? Buying another universe?
I don't know. That's what's going on with these religious butt monkeys. So
It's a con. If you listen to the Atheist, the Bible, No Wardrobe, especially the episode that we had a couple weeks ago, that shows that religion is a con. And the fact is, they put it right out there and nobody caught on. And the fact is that if you didn't catch that, that just shows that how gullible you are or how brain dead you are. I don't know which.
Yeah, you know what? If this lady wants a month of my paycheck, she can do a month of my work. She can come down to the resort I work at and do laundry for 8 hours a day, 5 days a week.
Yeah, she can come drive for me. Go do my job for a month. I guarantee you wouldn't want to do it. I was talking to somebody about that the other day. I said, if most people would look at the type of work that I have to do, and I think someone would rather send their head across the room with a shotgun or something rather than have to get up at the weird hours that I have to do and do the weird ass stuff that I have to do.
Same here.
So, Paula White, take your claims that God is going to get you if you they don't send you money and shove it. Because when you made that idle threat, do it or God's going to get you, you became a religious terrorist at that point. Anybody that says God is going to get you because reasons, if you don't do X, Y, or Z, then you are a religious terrorist because you are using fear to get what you want from them.
While we are poking at your news, you can poke us at Facebook and Twitter, or poke us with an email at ppapodcast@gmail.com, or leave us a message at 662-709-PPAP. Join us live on YouTube/Packard Pokesat on Friday nights at 9 p.m. Central Time. Be part of the conversation by live chatting with us during the show. Enjoy the show? Help support us by becoming a monthly patron at patreon.com/PackardPokesat, or look awesome by buying something at cafepress.com/PackardPokesat. No money, no problem. You can help us by sharing the show with friends and rate us on iTunes and Stitcher. For everyone that shares and rates us, you kick ass.
The Atheists,
The Bible.
and No Wardrobe, the podcast.
Wait a minute. No wardrobe? You mean we're going to be naked while we do this?
Well, seeing how I'm an atheist and I'm reading the Bible, and since clothes are flammable,
Fire! Fire! Fire!
I thought it might be a good idea to take them all off first.
Naked or not, follow along as we read, analyze, and try to keep you from falling asleep as we go through this boring-ass book.
Find us on iTunes, Stitcher, and Spreaker. Who knows? We may even be on YouTube someday.
And a new episode of The Atheist, the Bible, No Wardrobe was out on Thursday. During our downtime, I will be uploading several shows in that time period. If my computer system's down, they will still be available because these have been all pre-recorded some time ago. So this way, you won't be without an episode of The Atheist, the Bible, No Wardrobe.
You're living in a world of make-believe with flowers and bells and leprechauns and magic frogs with funny little hats.
160,000 people signed a petition to urge the New York Times to rewrite its obituary for the Mormons leader Thomas Monson, who died last week. Now, he was over 90 years old. He served as the 16th president of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints since 2008. Because, you know, when you're the oldest one there, you automatically get the job because that's how they operate in the Mormons. As president, he was considered the Mormons to be a prophet who received divine revelations, which isn't a thing. He also presided over the church during the number of controversial debates surrounding the LGBTQ acceptance in the church and the women's roles in leadership. The obituary, this is the part where they're kind of pissed off about. And to point out the fact is, the reason why is because the obituary points out what a homophobic bigot he was. And they don't like that, to have the truth told about their leader. Now, this is from the obituary here. Facing vicious demands to recognize same-sex marriage and weathering demonstrations at the church headquarters by Mormon women, pleading to the right to ordain as priest, Mr. Monson didn't bend. Teaching homosexuality to be immoral, bans on sexual intercourse outside of male-female marriages, and an all-male priesthood remain unaltered. So the guy was not only a bigot, a homophobe, and he was a misogynist as well. So I don't care if woman teaches or not. If you want to teach your stupid stuff, go right ahead. But the fact is, though, it's all garbage anyway. But you should have the right to do it as much as the guy does. Because because the magic number is not 1 because you have a penis that you can be able to say, I can speak for my imaginary friend. If you have one or not, you're certainly welcome to do so. Atheist Ranger, your thoughts?
Oh man, there's so little to say though. I guess my only true opinion is that the press is not going to apologize for stating the truth about your leader just because you have this "my religious leader can do no wrong" mentality, which honestly sounds like North Korea attitude to me. But I digress. Yeah, they're not going to apologize for the truth. I mean, we just read his obituary. The guy was a anti-LGBT bigot. Honestly, he lived 500 years ago where he apparently thinks that, sex should only be used for mating. I'm sorry, human beings, we don't do that anymore.
We're not just base animals where the only time we have sex is when we want to breed.
Yeah, some of us actually do it for pleasure.
Whoa, wait a minute. Pleasure? You mean we can do that for fun?
Some of us do that quite often.
I'm not one of them right now, but Matt, your thoughts?
Boy, they really come out of the woodwork, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
I have a friend who's in the Mormon church, and the things that she tells me is like, yeah, their religion is out there. They're against homosexuality, just like every religion is. So it's just another religious butt monkey.
Some people make the world better by leaving, and he was one of those people who made the world better by leaving the planet.
Well, it's just sad that all this religion doesn't do anything for anybody. It ends up coming to this where it's all people against other people. We're all human. We all make mistakes. That's just how it is. And some people can't accept that.
Yeah, I completely agree.
And that's wrong.
It's the Onion Radio News.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it isn't.
There are some people who are the right people to talk about genetics and how medication or medicine or drugs can affect the body. And a state lawmaker is not one of them unless he has a doctorate or he was a medical practitioner, which Representative Steve Alford, a Republican, was not. The country is moving towards a pro-pot situation. So, hey, if you want to smoke pot for recreation, then you're more than welcome to do so. He thinks it should be outlawed because black people can't handle it because of genetics. I'm not making this up. He spoke out against the legalization of the pot using racist logic when he heard Reefer Madness was considered a serious documentary. When you really need to go back to the 1930s, when you are all types of drugs in Kansas and across the United States, Alfred said, according to the Garden City Telegram, one of the reasons why, I hate to say it, was African Americans, they were basically users and they basically responded to the worst off to those drugs just because of their character makeup, their genetics, and that. Because, a geneticist would say your genetics and that, because that's apparently some kind of science, I guess. I don't know. The Telegram pointed out that Alfred's comments appeared to be based on the theories of Harry Ellinger, I don't pronounce his last name, the founder commissioner of what was then called the Federal Bureau of Narcotics, which was behind the marijuana tax of 1937. So some of this very racist and hysterical anti-cannabis quotes attributed to agencies like that included these little tidbits here. Now, this is not me saying, I'm just quoting here. Rafer makes darkies think that they're good as white men. There are 100,000 total marijuana smokers in the U.S., and most are Negroes, Filipinos, and entertainers. I didn't know entertainers was a whole other race. Did you know this, guys? Did you know that entertainers are a whole other race?
No,
I did not.
Their satanic music, jazz, and swing result from marijuana use. So if you enjoy music, I guess you're into marijuana too, I guess. This marijuana causes white women to seek sexual relations with Negroes, entertainers, and any others. Okay, that's just bizarre. Another one is marijuana is an addictive drug which produces in its users insanity, criminality, and death. None of any of that is true. Atheist Ranger, your thoughts?
Yeah, if you're going to talk about genetics, you should probably have an actual scientist to talk about it. Which, by the way, and I'm just speaking on personal experience here, most of the pot smokers, friends I had back home in Delaware, were black. So, and you know what? When they were high, they were more chill. The chillest person you could ever meet. So, and quite frankly, I'm getting tired of this anti-marijuana propaganda, because I mean, I'm sure this guy believes, like a lot of right-wingers believe, that, you know, oh, well, you know, marijuana is a gateway drug. No, it's not. Okay, there, to my knowledge, there's little to no evidence to support that fact.
Right.
That's saying, I'm not fact.
You know, the thing is, they're saying marijuana is a gateway drug. It's like saying if you buy a French fries, that's a gateway drug to, I don't know, cheeseburgers. I don't know. They do go well together, though. Matt, your thoughts?
Well, just for him saying what he said, this guy's career is going to be over with, I think.
Mm-hmm. You would think, but with Trump in office right now, he is the biggest bigot we have in office right now.
Well, I know, and everyone's following him, and that's the problem. I mean, it's just like the comment that Trump made the other day about the crap hole countries.
Yeah.
He didn't say that. He said the S word.
Right.
That's just like, really? And then, you know, the people that really couldn't say anything because of all the presidents before, this guy's just leading by example, and everybody else under him is doing the same thing, and it's ridiculous. Marijuana is an everyone drug. I mean, anybody can smoke it. Drugs don't discriminate.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's anybody can do it. It's whether or not you choose to do that or not. I mean, and saying that it's just a black person's drug, it's not. It's everybody's drug.
I personally, I don't do it myself.
Well, I don't do it either, but I'm just saying that, you know, you can't say that black people are basically addicted to this when there are a lot of people that are addicted to it, and they're not black. They're any color of the, and it's ridiculous.
I've had a few pot cookies. That's pretty much about it.
Yeah, I do want to point out. That the research that I have heard and seen in other places is that marijuana is not something you can get addicted to. It's actually a non-addictive drug. It just, the kind of drugs that you do get addicted to is like cocaine and stuff like that. Those harder drugs, those are actually more addictive.
Let me say this: the heroin epidemic that's going on now.
Mm-hmm.
You know who's basically doing this? Rich white kids.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's going on here in the Chicago area. It's a big epidemic here, and it's basically rich white kids that are doing it.
Yeah.
And it's cheap. That's the thing. It's real cheap to get a hold of, and you can make it, I guess, fairly cheap. It's just ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. It is ridiculous.
Teach me how to be sensible, logical, oh, responsible, practical.
And tonight we have our logic game, and our logic statement for this evening is: our web poll found that 90% of the internet users oppose online privacy laws. That seems like a pretty straightforward statement. Is this A, post hoc ergo propter hoc fallacy? Is this B, hasty generalization? C, biased generalization? Or D, ignoring a common cause?
C.
You're going with C?
I'm going to have to go with C as well.
You going with C? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And you are both correct.
Yeah. Finally got one right.
Yeah. There you go. You both got it tonight. Now, it is C, bias generalization, generalizing form of unprecedented sample to increase the strength of your argument. So if it's like saying all these people believe in the same thing I do, or predominantly believe the same thing I do, therefore that belief is correct. I've been dealing with this Christian online a couple times. They say, well, the majority of people believe in the Bible. That doesn't make your Bible true. Just
Right.
because more people believe a thing doesn't make it true by default by how many people believe it. Everybody could be completely wrong. For example, quite a number of years ago, the people used to believe that the Earth was the center of the universe and that the sun would rotate around us. That's been proved demonstrably false. So, and that was still, a lot of people believed it, but it didn't make it true. All right, well, we got to get out of here, and I want to thank everybody that came to the live show. And again, if you could help out with a couple dollars to help offset my moving costs, so I could, and be able to move into a new place, I would greatly appreciate it. Go to paypal.me/PackardPokesat. If you'd still like to make a donation to Patreon, that's fine, but I'm not going to be putting out an episode for several weeks, so my Patreon is going to go dark for right now, quiet as it were. So it'll make it a little harder to get any funds out of that. If you could go to paypal.me/PackardPokesat, I'll get the direct donations there, and it would greatly help me out. We will be back, I hope soon. I don't know when. I will keep everybody updated on my moving progress, and once I get resituated, we will get the show back on track. Until then, I'm not going to say goodbye, but I will say so long for now.
And that's a wrap.